Welcome to my channel, and again, I'm Sarie, and if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel so you can receive all of my weekly updates every week. All right, I'm so excited to do this video today because as you can see from the thumbnail, you got into nursing school, now what? Don't mind me, I have my notes with me, but you don't see that. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, first things first. You received your acceptance letter into nursing school. I'm sure there were so many emotions. I know when I got my letter, I was so excited. I cried tears of joy for days. I was happy. I was posting on my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Snapchat. So many things were running through me, emotional things were running through me when I received my acceptance letter. It definitely was one of the best feelings ever because it was that time where I just was ready to convert into nursing. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get in. It's such a competitive field. Even with me coming from respiratory into nursing, I wasn't sure if I was going to get in. It was not guaranteed. But once you got that letter, you knew you got into nursing school. So, what did I do after all the emotions calmed down? And you're excited for a few weeks because the time that you get your acceptance, normally there's anywhere from 3 to 6 months before you're due to start. So once you get in, then what? What do you do at that point? You're not sure what to do, what happens next. So I can only tell you what I've seen from other people in different programs and also from my program here in New Jersey. So the first things first, the letter normally tells you that you have to go on and accept your spot into the nursing program. They want to make sure that people that they sent it out to, you could have gotten accepted into other programs. So you kind of have to decide that you're going to accept whichever program you apply to and got into. You have to normally go onto the website, accept your position. Some schools ask you for a fee. I think I had to pay a fee. It's like a $125, excuse me, $125 fee to accept my place into the nursing program. So I had no problems doing that because this is what I was supposed to be doing. I was getting into nursing school. No one was taking my spot. So that's first things first. Once you sign up and register and accept your fee, your email goes into the system so that the nursing department can, be able to get a hold of you when need be. You also have to put in if you choose to do the day program or the evening program. A lot of people, work days and, they can't adjust their schedule because they're Monday through Friday. So the evening program works good for a lot of people, whereas though my schedule, because I already work in the hospital, it's a little flexible. So I knew if there were days that I had off, I could alter my schedule a little bit. So what I did first was go onto the school website, and I wanted to look at how the program classes normally ran. You don't really know what you're going to have if you're 6 months ahead because that schedule really isn't out. And for me, I was going into the fall 2017. So I needed to see what the fall schedule normally would look like. So I went backwards into the fall 2016 and I saw how the classes were normally done during the day compared to during the night. I did accept the day program, And again, when you go to do your acceptance fee, you have to say if you're doing day or night. At least that's how my school was. So that was the next thing that I did. I put in my email address. You know, when my letter actually came, I believe it came in April of 2017. The funny thing is that I never realized when you do your application for nursing school, for the school that I got into, you already have a school email. They had already emailed me a couple weeks before the letter came out telling me I got into nursing school. But I never knew it because I didn't go on to that email. I didn't even know how to get on. But once I did go on, I saw my acceptance email. So I'm kicking myself that I didn't know that's how it worked. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when that letter came in the mail, I was so excited. I just couldn't believe it. So it didn't matter if I knew weeks before, if I knew at that time. I got into nursing school. So let me look at my notes. So the next thing, the school will begin to notify you. There's certain things that you have to do before you even start the program. One is fingerprinting. Two is like a criminal background check that they absolutely have to have on every student. Three is your medical, all your shots have to be up to date along with the physical. And this is where that part becomes so time consuming because they gave us, there was a certain outside company that handled all of this for us. So we had to log in and it would keep a record of everything that we needed prior to the start of the program. And as we did things and uploaded the documents into the system, they would clear it and then we'd know we were good to go. But the criminal background takes a long time. The fingerprinting takes a long time. And if you're not up to date on your shots and getting you have to do the TB testing. Some people who've never had the TB test, you might have to do your part 1, part 2, and then part 3. So many things as far as that whole medical clearance really can take several weeks, if not, a couple months for some people to get all of that taken care of. So for me, I was a little lucky because I work in the medical field already. For those that don't know, I am a respiratory therapist, like I said before. So when I went to respiratory school, I guess 7 years prior to that, I had all my paperwork and my titers and my medical history had to be done for that. So I went to the doctor's office and got copies of all of it. I did have to get an updated physical, which is fine. That doesn't take much. And I always have to do my TB testing and my fit mass testing. I have to do all of that anyway for the hospital, as well as basic life support. They wanted you to make sure you had that done. So I already had those things done. So all I really had to do was upload my confirmation and submit it to the school. So that didn't take as much time for me, and I was so excited that I could get some of that stuff taken care of sooner rather than later, because once you get closer and it's coming into the summertime, you start getting nervous if things aren't taken care of, because believe you me, they will not let you into the program if you're not compliant. That they're very big on that in nursing school, especially when you have to go to some of the different hospitals for your clinical rotation. You have to be compliant. So if you haven't already started, depending on when you're due to get into your program, please do all of those different things that they require ahead of time so that you're not running into any issues. Next, I would say that that's when you have to go to the bookstore. You have to order your uniform. So for clinical rotations, you have to wear the school uniform, whether you're in the hospital, nursing care, the lab. Our school had a simulation lab, so we did have to always be in the same nursing school uniform. So, I forget how much that cost, but it probably was $100+ to order two sets of tops and bottoms. And I believe I did the Cherokee brand because that's what the school required us to do. And we had to get the monogram of the school logo on the front of both of our tops. We also had to order a school pin. They called it a school pin, but it was actually a nameplate. And that went on the opposite side, and it basically had the name of the school, and then it had your name, so that anytime you were in the presence of someone in the hospital or whatever clinical setting you were in, they knew exactly who you were. That's very important to them as well. You had to also order your nursing shoes for your uniform, and they did not allow for you to wear a thin shirt underneath of your uniform. So if you thought you were going to be cold, you had to order the jacket. Schools will always find a way to get you into ordering lots of different things. So you had to order the school jacket, which matched the uniform. And then finally, we had to, of course, get the most expensive thing that everyone has to get when they're in any type of college setting. But in nursing school, it's the same for nursing school students. We had to order our books. Now, the funny thing is, with this program that I started, they no longer used the big, bulky books. Now, and actually, I was very excited about that. That meant we had all electronic books. There was a black and white copy if you wanted to purchase it, if for those who are visual readers who needed to see it right in front of them on the desk and could highlight. I wasn't paying for that. That was an extra $35, which actually wasn't bad. The book was this thick. But all of the electronic books for our nursing program are online. And for the first semester, I believe it cost us, somewhere around $350. So just because it's electronic doesn't mean it's going to be cheaper. That's the first thing that I thought, but that wasn't the case. It still was pretty expensive. So $350 around about was what we spent for the books. And again, it wasn't a hard copy. It was all online. It would come with weekly lessons that you would do, which pertain to whichever section you were in. So for us, the first semester was all about fundamentals. So that's where our focus was. Now, each semester after that, it's a different set of books. Now, and it doesn't cost $350, but it seems like they were charging around $125 to $150 each semester to get the next set of books. You'll have to see what your school requires, but I believe that is most of the things that I had to do. The only additional costs, and really, you really don't know how much extra it costs until they start telling you your requirements. The last thing that I had to purchase was HESI testing. And the first semester, it was very expensive. Again, it was another $300 because our school forgot to tell us that it was not included in all of our other packages that we had to purchase. So for the HESI testing, it's their way. Every semester, we would take a HESI test at the end of the semester, and it basically shows how well you learned all of the information provided throughout that whole semester. So, but the crazy thing is, when I did my fundamentals that first semester, I paid the $300, They said we weren't supposed to pay again, but each semester after that, so far, I've been paying another 125, 150 for a HESI. So it gets a little frustrating with all of the charges on top of all of the fees and tuition you have to pay. But at the end of the day, if nursing is what you want to do, you will do whatever it takes to get through that program and get yourself to the end and graduate and become a nurse. So I hope you guys are just as excited as I am and as I was when I got that nursing acceptance letter. And for me, I am in my final semester. So just to get to this point is beyond major achievement, and I still am excited. I say this in every video, I know, but you guys should know how excited I am, and I'm sure you're just as excited to get started. So I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope to talk with you soon. Peace.